good. The FDA put out an advisory on Friday. What did they say?
Pretty interesting. The FDA is putting an advisory on coffee, right? So a particular brand of coffee, I think sparks a little bit of a bigger awareness campaign, and that is not all herbal or all natural supplements that are added to things are benign or without issues. And so this particular coffee, Stiff Bull Herbal Coffee, has a supplement which has the same active ingredient as Viagra. And
hence the name Stiff Bull Herbal Coffee.
That was for you to pick up on. So we'll leave that one.
We're not all Big Ten grads, so we need some of it needs to be explained. All right,
there you go.
All right.
But and so we got to be careful about these things. The issue, from a standpoint of medications like Viagra, there's 9,000 disclaimers on the TV advertisements and radio advertisements for these things. The problem is when you combine medications like nitroglycerin or long-acting nitroglycerin type medications with Viagra, your blood pressure goes from okay to about zero. And that could potentially lead to somebody losing your life. So
when you take this and you take nitrates, that's a dangerous combination.
Bad deal.
And so the FDA is saying, hey, you got to be careful about this.
Yeah, there's things that are in certain substances like coffee that potentially are dangerous, and you wouldn't be aware of it for any other reason. So we've talked about the FDA and a lot of different reasons and different concerns. This is a safety or public safety concern, so I applaud them for alerting us on it.
What are nitrates? You hear that in the commercials. We've heard it talked about. What are they?
So nitrates are like they're the old medications, which are all natural, right? So nitrates actually dilate blood vessels, and they're medications like nitroglycerin. It can come in an IV form, in a pill form that dissolves on your mouth, and a spray form that you can also spray in your mouth, or in a paste form that actually gets absorbed through the skin. Those are the kinds that you can get. They dilate blood vessels, and they take away angina-like chest discomfort, which is the kind of discomfort you get when your heart's not getting enough blood flow. So there are some people on them chronically because they help them feel better. We also use them in African Americans in combination with other medications to help them with heart failure issues, so they don't have further episodes of heart failure.
So that's why when somebody's having a heart attack or somebody has heart issues, they take the nitrates because that helps open up the blood vessels.
A little bit, yes, absolutely.
And so that in combination with the active ingredients in Viagra, that's the dangerous combination.
That is absolutely dangerous.
So people who take this, if they were to take this Stiff Bull, the herbal coffees, is it mainly people who are with nitrates? Is it safe for other people to take?
As far as we know. So, but in combination, so you never know. And I don't necessarily want to just focus on this particular coffee. I think we need to.
Herbal coffee.
We kind of need to think about it in terms of there's a general, I think, assumption that this is an herbal therapy or this is all natural or organic even in some ways. And we got to be careful about these labelings.
I often think that most of that is just a marketing ploy, and there is no evidence to all of that stuff.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's true. The FDA has no. And definitely not the same jurisdiction or the same level of evidence that is necessary to sell any of these products and the herbal therapies or supplements for that matter.
Yeah. Nitrates, though, you always see that in the movie with the old
I was
cantankerous
thinking the
lawyer
same
guy
thing.
who's,
when
fighting
they're holding
against
their chest,
yeah.
and then they take a pill. They struggle to get that pill.
Right. And then does it work that fast?
Yeah.
It does, but it's not going to stop a heart attack. And so, when we have a heart attack, we actually have a sudden loss of blood flow to part of our heart. That's mostly due to the fact that the inside of the artery ruptured and we have a blood clot inside of there, and the nitrate doesn't do anything for that whatsoever. So you're having a heart attack, you have sudden onset of symptoms. The best thing for you to do is not to try to find nitroglycerin. It's to take aspirin and chew it and call 911 and get to the closest hospital.
Aspirin, chew it, and call 911.
Absolutely.
Why? I'm just curious. Why
Because
chew it?
Chewing it gets it to work faster, so it starts getting absorbed faster. And most of the aspirin you can buy now from a Walgreens or a CVS or Dierberg's or Schnucks actually has a coating over it. And so that coating delays how fast it gets absorbed in the bloodstream. So if you're having a heart attack, you don't really want to wait for a couple
Right,
hours for
right.
that to start.
Right.
So what you're saying is it's not a bad idea to have aspirin lying around, even if you don't take aspirin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Dr. Michael Lim, cardiologist with SLU Care and SSM Health SLU Hospital. Great as always, doctor. Thanks for checking in.
One more thing,
Yes.
McGraw. So I was reading on the incredible information source Wikipedia.
Yes.
And I wanted to congratulate your Nebraska Cornhuskers on a big win Saturday.
How about that?
That
huh?
was fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or-
But it turns out the Cornhuskers used to have a different name.
Yes.
The Bug Eaters.
The bug eaters.
So last week we talked about you were trying to get me on the Michigan coach eating his own boogers.
Yes.
But we do have something in common because Nebraska used to be known as the Bug Eaters.
Yeah, but they weren't called the booger eaters. They were the bug eaters.
Well,
Kinda
we
close,
discussed
a
that
little close.
boogers might be safe. Can you describe to me how eating bugs might be safe or unhealthy?
True story. We were in the Big 8 tournament in Oklahoma City, and we were playing Oklahoma State. And first pitch, the entire stadium, our pitcher throws a pitch, the entire stadium yells, "Bug eaters." Second pitch, the entire stadium yells, "Bug eaters." Every time our pitcher threw a pitch, the entire stadium yelled, "Bug eaters." So I'm charting the game, and my pitching coach, who was a sweetheart of a man, but a very cantankerous man who would have taken nitroglycerides if he ever had a heart attack, comes over to me, and he's got a big old chew in his mouth. And he says, now I'm going to clean it up for radio. He says, "What in the heck are they yelling?" I was like, "They're yelling bug eaters, coach." He's like, "What's a bug eater?" I'm like, "That was Nebraska's name before we were the Cornhuskers." Just walks away. Every curse word in the world as he walks away. It was, yeah. When Iowa, I think, dropped the Cornhuskers and picked up the Cyclones.
Iowa
Pick it
State.
up.
Iowa State, yeah, and or I think it was Iowa picked up the Hawkeyes. Like one of them, Iowa or Iowa State dropped
Okay.
Cornhuskers, and then shortly thereafter, Nebraska got a good idea and picked it up.
Because
Yeah.
Bug Eaters just wasn't doing
Bug
it. for
Eaters
him.
wasn't didn't really get high marks with the focus groups.
Well, very good. Information that you can only get here.
Yes, and be careful of Stiff Bull herbal coffee.
You got it. Take care.
Dr.